Well, Barney must be a very good friend.
Barney and the Backyard Gang is a piece of history. It was the debut of a character that would take the world by storm, as well as a series that put forth so many things that would be utilized and furthered throughout the franchise's lifetime. At the same time, it's also a series that would barely ever be referenced after its run, eventually leading to its final departure. Let's talk about it.
Oh, Michael, look what I found!
Barney the Dinosaur! How did he get in there?
I'm going to put him right here so he can watch our show.
Barney and the Backyard Gang is often fondly remembered as the first. Barney the Dinosaur makes his stay in American pop culture through this set of 8 home videos. From 1988 to 1991, Barney himself would see an evolution, from a dark-colored, deep-voiced Tyrannosaurus
Dinosaurs can't skip rope too well. My tail always gets in the way.
to one friendlier both in appearance and voice.
I'm so glad you wanted to show me your school. What do you do here?
Knowing they had something special on their hands, the small Texas-based creative team, the Lions Group, filed the Barney and the Backyard Gang trademark with the U.S. Trademark Office in October of 1989. Lions did the best they could to improve on their work and to shop Barney around as far as possible. This would eventually lead to PBS reaching out to the group specifically in hopes that they could bring the big purple reptile to television. This would be 1991, not only being the first year the Backyard Gang would be officially registered as a living trademark, but also the year that the final tapes of the Barney and the Backyard Gang series would be finished and released, these being Barney in Concert and ending with Rock with Barney. By this time, Barney had gone through his third reimagining, now being the finalized design that would eventually be carried over into the PBS series. In April 1992, Barney and Friends made its way onto PBS television, and just like that, the Backyard Gang was no more. Kinda. Many different elements and aspects from the original home video series were carried over to Barney and Friends, most notably the cast of characters and iconic music tracks. Aside from this, the Backyard Gang would rarely ever be mentioned at all. The kids never mentioned the group name, most likely due to PBS's discretions over the implications of the word gang. The only real reference to a past event that had taken place in the Backyard Gang would be the character Tina referencing Barney getting caught up and tangled in a jump rope.
Yes, but help me get this rope off.
Oh no, he's tangled up in the jump rope again.
Sorry, kids.
During the years of the Backyard Gang, Barney would often make fantastical things happen through the use of his magic words, Shimbaree, Shimbara. These magic words would be brought into the first season of Barney and Friends, but slowly phased out, making its final usage being from this set of 30 episodes and never again.
Shimbaree, Shimbara, Shimbaree, Shimbara.
During a pledge drive for PBS in 1993, the station would actually air a slightly edited version of the second to last tape from Barney and the Backyard Gang, Barney in Concert. In this version, the original opening is removed and instead replaced with a simplified logo. This removes any chance of Barney's original designs being shown during the broadcast. Even still, the song "We Are Barney and the Backyard Gang" is left in and would be the only time the name could be heard on the station from then forward. As mentioned earlier, Barney the Dinosaur's design went through multiple iterations before he would hit television, but even after the look was finalized, the prior costumes would still be used for various reasons. At the time, there weren't too many costumes to use at all. The original dark-colored suit, the redesign, a much cheaper version meant for use at birthday parties, and the final costume carried into Barney and Friends were all that the team had to work with. In fact, even during the years of the Backyard Gang after the redesign came to be, the original costume would occasionally still be brought out for use at events if needed. Unfortunately, due to the materials and how they were used to create this original costume, it would quickly begin to fall apart, and some photos appearing almost unrecognizable to its appearance in the franchise's first 3 home videos. This eventually led to it being destroyed entirely, with specific pieces recycled into future versions of the character. At the time of this recording, this is the last publicly known photo of Barney the Dinosaur in his original form, having been dated back to the year 1990. The Barney redesign could also be seen at different events outside the series during that time. Body performer David Joyner made his debut with the Barney franchise with the costume we became most familiar with. However, it's thought that he was also in costume with the previous design at least a few times beforehand. A photo was recently unearthed showing a disheveled Barney from the Backyard Gang's second trilogy, having been taken in the year 1991 at a Neiman Marcus event. By this time, Barney in Concert had already been released, and Barney himself looks to be nearing his end. The foam showing through, the eyes hanging on, and overall it's very apparent that the costume could not have feasibly held together for much longer. It was clear that the Lions group did their best to get everyone's favorite purple friend to the children whenever needed, regardless of his appearance. Speaking of which, let's talk box art.
Everything's ready.
Good. Now don't you worry. It'll be a great show. I'll watch from back here.
Barney and the Backyard Gang had very specific box art for its VHS packaging, a design very unique to the series itself, generally consisting of the episode title, the series logo, a photo from a key event of the episode itself, and an image of someone in the top left. Originally for the first 3 tapes, being that Sandy Duncan was a large factor in getting parents to buy the tapes back then, she was featured in the top left of the first 3 videos as an eye catch. As more episodes were produced, she declined to reprise her role, and her photo was then replaced with one featuring the new redesign of Barney. Eventually, those original 3 tapes would also have her photo replaced with the same image of the new Barney from 1990. And finally, after Barney in Concert debuted the final look for the character, every single tape produced for the Backyard Gang series would swap the eye catch photo one last time, now being of the final design. Because of the fact that the Barney and Friends TV series cemented how the majority of kids now saw the character, as well as the unfamiliarity with the Backyard Gang as a whole, this change was considered very necessary for any reprints of these early outings. Barney the Dinosaur underwent a quick redesign for a reason. Selling these tapes after the rise of the character meant that kids would want to at least know that this is the Barney they fell in love with, but that he's going to look different in the tape in question. Barney and the Backyard Gang's tapes would continue to circulate through 1992, even after Barney and Friends hit television. Even with no immediate desire to continue the series, any tape on the shelf was a tape on the shelf, when the TV series was airing episodes without tapes of their own. When Barney and Friends began producing VHS tapes of its Season 1 episodes, the Backyard Gang style packaging was carried over, almost appearing as if these episodes derived from the prior home video series. This would be the case for releases such as the Season 1 episode Happy Birthday Barney, renamed Barney's Birthday, and the VHS exclusive Barney's Magical Musical Adventure. In 1993, once more demand for new VHS releases was apparent, the Backyard Gang box style was no more. Instead, Lions decided to streamline the package design with a style more eye-catching than before. Also in 1993, the first 3 home videos in the franchise would be printed for the last time. It was clear that with the Barney brand nearing its peak, these original 3 debut videos were such a departure that continuing to have them circulated was in no means a priority. Despite this, it would not be the final time Barney's Backyard Gang would see release. Later that same year, Barney's Waiting for Santa was on store shelves again, but now with packaging. They just put some empty VHS tapes on a shelf. Later that same year, Barney's Waiting for Santa was on store shelves again, but now with new packaging. Barney in his design from the video is nowhere to be seen on the packaging at all, instead being his then current appearance from the TV series. Although the box would explicitly state that the packaging was a redesign of an earlier release, the Backyard Gang is not mentioned at all on the front nor the back of the box. What's also interesting is that this release would be prominently advertised alongside other Barney home videos at the end of certain tapes during Barney and Friends' run, including Barney in his past design.
In Waiting for Santa, Barney and all of the Backyard Gang take their new friend Derek on an exciting adventure to Santa's workshop at the North Pole.
Starting in 1995, as part of the Classic Collection line of releases, many different standalone videos from Barney's recent library would make their way onto home video, including certain outings from Barney and the Backyard Gang. These being the entire latter half of the Backyard Gang series put out as part of this classic line the year following. Just as before, every box would be redesigned entirely, featuring Barney in his then current look at that point in time. Unlike before, however, even though the Backyard Gang is omitted from the front cover, it is mentioned on the back, although not always directly from the story description. Except for in the case of Barney in Concert, in which the name was very prominent on the back. And also this tape was released one final time in the year 2000, but with new packaging again, because why not, I guess. Can I just say it was very bizarre to see previews playing for the newer Barney videos at the time, and then the intro would play and it's just...
Please stay tuned following this presentation for previews of other Barney home videos.
Clickbait. These releases would continue to go around nearing the end of the 90s. Hi, this is Hedge here. I just want to say that I hate when people do videos like this because it always starts some unnecessary confusion within the fan base. For whatever reason, Barney fans love doing the, here's Barney in concert, but if it had the same previews of stuff that came out in 2005, but they never state that it's an edited video, people end up being like, wait, they released a Backyard Gang tape in 2005? What? Why? And it's like, no, it's literally something that someone edited together, and it's just like, I don't know, man, you do you, but seeing stuff like this is so annoying because I'm always like, yo, what? And then I click on it and see that it's fake, and I just like the video and leave. Classic Collection would mark the final push by Barney's creative team to get Barney and the Backyard Gang out to the public before ultimately deciding to move on. With a theatrical film off the popularity of the TV series being put out in theaters in 1997, the show itself running strong as it was, as well as the brand now being under the helm of Lyric Studios, there was no real reason for the Backyard Gang to make a return, and the production crew knew this. Because of this lack of desire, the Barney and the Backyard Gang trademark was left dormant, with no material for more than 6 years. With Barney's team not filing a renewal, the trademark was officially abandoned and cancelled in July of 1997.
Goodbye, Tina. Remember, I'm always here. And if you need something special, all you have to do is make a wish, and I'll be there.
I know, Barney. That's why you're so special. Love you.
Love you too.
Barney the Dinosaur created a path that many children's programs would follow from then on. He brought smiles to millions across the world, and it started very small. A short home video series you could pick up at the store was all it took to create an icon. Today we're still learning new things about this 30-plus-year-old legend. Him, his love, and his Backyard Gang.
Oh. What do you guys do around here when I'm not around?
Thank you to Emilia, Cameron, Junior the Hedgehog, Common J, Megley, and Nerdy Disney for supporting the stage.